right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone that rule impeccably well. And Shalom to the Akim that's pushing his truth and sincerity across the four winds. All right. Now, as you can see here on the screen, I have an article from the DailyMail.co.uk, and it reads, America gets its ass handed to it. In World War III simulations, US forces are defeated by Russia and China in almost all scenarios, analysts warn. All right. Now, concerning World War III, this is a very, very important prophecy spoken of in the Holy Bible, right? In the Holy Scriptures. All right, because it is indeed mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. All right, this World War III prophecy. All right, mentioned in the book of Revelations that we will get into, because when you start hearing of World War III, being brought up in the news, in the media, newspaper articles and whatnot, just know that we in the end times, man, because this is basically World War III. Surely after World War III, we're going to have the emergence of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? Which is not his real name. His real name is Yahweh Shai once again. All right. Now, World War III is one of those very important prophecies that we look forward to. All right. Now, you might be thinking in your mind, why would you be looking forward to World War III? Well, World War III is a beautiful thing because it's going to cleanse the earth of all the wickedness, all right? Because who's currently ruling the earth? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, all right? So this earth needs to be, renewed, and, great way in which the Lord is going to, start this process of, cleansing the earth is via way of World War III, via way of that nuclear fire from them ICBM missiles. All right, that's going to be the greatest cleansing agent that the world has ever seen. And as it also tells us in Amos chapter 9 and verse 8, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and he shall destroy it from off of the face of the earth, man. So that's exactly what's going to happen, when World War III commences. You're going to get a complete reset, right? And translation of kingdoms. Now it says here, America gets its ass handed to it in World War III simulations. So let's read, a few excerpts from the article. It says, the US may not stand a chance against Russia and China should World War III break out, advanced warfare analysts have warned. Non-profit global policy think tank RAND has been performing simulated war scenarios, often sponsored by the Pentagon, to test how American forces would fare against the world's other leading military superpowers. And it says here, last week, RAND analysts revealed that in scenario after scenario, the US had suffered severe losses despite spending nearly $1 trillion annually on military, exceeding the spending of any other country by more than double. Now, what you got to understand is that it doesn't matter how much the United States of America spends on their defense and offense systems and their artillery, right? It just doesn't matter. Why? Because prophecy has already spoken that Babylon the Great, that America, right, is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. That's already been written down. So it doesn't matter how much you invest. It doesn't matter, what techniques you try and do. It doesn't matter how much the US tries to get ahead in the game. They're always going to be behind, because Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with these other nations, right? In the agenda of taking out, destroying, the United States of America. That's the plan of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's the plan of the Lord. All right, it's the Lord that's created, all of these weapons, all of this weaponry to really, execute his plan. All right, and we can get that, quickly in the scriptures. because this is all Yahweh Shem Yahushai's plan, man. And you can't go against the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's impossible. The Lord's plan, the Lord's will is always going to be done above any ideas that any man, will have in his mind to do. How can a man understand his own way, man? The Lord is the controller of everything. Now, this is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy." So it's the Lord that has created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, man. In other words, it's the Lord that has given, these scientists, right? These Edomite scientists that create these weapons of mass destruction and turmoil. It's the Lord that's given them the inspiration to create these things. All right, it's not of their own will, it's of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's will. Right, the Lord has spoken it, and the Lord is put the spirit on them to create these things. This is the whole reason why the Lord, we're going back all the way to Genesis. This is the reason why the Lord gave Esau the blessing of the sword. All right, because these things were already written down to happen, before these things actually came to pass, man. Right, because the Lord knew from the very beginning that Esau was going to destroy himself, with his own artillery, man. Right, that's why the scriptures say, if Satan be cast against Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? All right, his kingdom can't stand, man, because the Lord has already set him against himself. Because Russia is another Edomite nation, right, against America. All right, so they're both Edomite nations, and they're both going to destroy each other. And much worse than that, you're going to have the other heathens joining in, taking part in this massacre of the United States of America, man, which is basically Babylon, spoken of in the Bible, mystery Babylon. All right, now let's go to the let's go back to the article and read a few more excerpts. Now it says here, in our games, when we fight Russia and China, Blue gets his ass handed to. Researcher David Okmanek explained at the Center for a New American Society on Thursday. Breaking Defense Force reported American forces are generally color-coded in blue in the simulations. We lose a lot of people, we lose a lot of equipment, we usually fail to achieve our objective of preventing aggression by the adversary, because the Lord ain't dealing with America. Though hypothetical, the simulated games warned that the world order America has fought to protect for more than a century could be at risk. Yeah, and that's evident, man, because the power structure and the ways of the so-called white man, especially over primarily America, right, is being revealed, man. Right, you got them going into Venezuela at the moment, trying to strong arm Venezuela, and they ain't having it. All right, no matter how weak these nations are, what are they doing? They're starting to stand up to America. That's why the scriptures say, "Let the weak say I am strong." All right, all these weaker nations are starting to actually stand up to Babylon, right? Because they're losing their power. They're losing the grip. So that's all part of prophecy, man. Right? One that the world order America has fought to protect for more than a century could be at risk. The simulated conflicts take place in all 5 domains of battle: land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. All right? According to RAND, red aggressive forces frequently burn U.S. military bases to the ground, sink warships, and take out cyber systems. Report work, a former W2 Secretary of Defense and experienced wargamer, explained that America's F-35 fighter is the most advanced of its kind in the sky, but is vulnerable on tarmac. In every case I know of, the F-35 rules the sky when it's in the sky, work said Thursday, but it gets killed on the ground in large numbers, man. Right? So the Lord is going to cause a sequence of things to happen to America to cause them to be weak, right? Because the prophecy must come to pass that they be destroyed by the other nations, man, in this thing, that we call World War III. All right, now let's get into some scriptures. This is Revelations chapter 11 and verse 14. It says the second woe is past. Now this is making reference to World War II, which was also a great destruction, in the history of the world. So that's already passed. World War II is dead and gone. But it says, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now this is making reference to what we know as World War III. That hasn't actually commenced yet. But if you go to, Wikipedia and you type in World War III, there's going to be, a segment on World War III, even though it hasn't happened yet. Because it's, again, as I keep saying, World War III is inevitable, man. Right? There's people out there that study World War III and study how it might, come to pass. Right? But, the Bible, the scriptures have all the answers to that, man. Right? And we've made, when I say we, I mean, GMS GreatMillStone, we've made, countless amounts of videos concerning the topic of World War III, Iran, Russia, China, and how, World War III is going to commence and how it's going to end, man. All right, so all that information is out there. So the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, and it is coming quickly, man. Right? Now the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it. So sometimes, you might seem like, you just keep hearing articles and news of World War III, but you got to remember, the scriptures also say, we've heard of wars and rumors of wars, man. We're still going through that phase of wars and rumors of wars, right? But the main escalation, the main attack, is going to happen very soon, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because there's only a certain amount of time that nations can, can talk for before, someone's going to shoot a missile and initiate that first contact, all right? There's only a amount of time that these things can go on for. Rumors and, rumors of wars and all these kind of things, it's not going to be happening for much longer. You're going to see major moves are going to start, being initiated on both sides, man. Right? And it ain't going to be a walk in the park. All right? I'm not, by no means are we saying, Russia's going to, remain unscathed. And I'm gonna just take America out of the game just like that. No, it's gonna be a tremendous battle. All right, and in the midst of that tremendous battle, what's gonna happen? Yahushua is gonna crack them clouds, man. All right, and that's basically gonna be the showstopper right there, right? Now going back to the article, because this report that they done, is very interesting, man, because it clearly outlines, the destruction of America as a nation, man. All right, and that's biblical prophecy, and that's why I chose to do a video, on this particular article, because hey, more and more we're seeing that America's losing its power, and that the media are even seeing that America's gonna lose, man. America's weak right now. They have a maniac in office that's in charge, that doesn't know what he's doing, and that's made America even more weak, man. And that's made, the other nations look down on America even more, Now this is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, who is standing for the children of thy people. Talking about you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because what we got to remember is that America has enslaved, right, the Lord's people, man. He's touched the apple of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's eye, and they're going to pay for that, man. All right? Children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was there since a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that standeth, that everyone that shall be found written in the book, man. And that's referring to the book of life. Basically, the elect are going to be delivered out of this mess, right? So it's going to be like a time like never before, right? Because this war is going to be, the war to end all wars, so to speak, man. It's going to be more terrifying and horrendous than World War II. And if you research World War II was a terrible thing. There was many great atrocities that happened during World War II, and there was millions upon millions of people that had been killed in World War II, man. And when you think about it, there's nearly 9 billion people upon the face of the earth right now, man. Right? This is the most amount of people that you ever had upon the earth at one time. And the reason why they're here is because they're all going to receive their judgment, man. A lot of people are going to die in World War III. A lot of lives are going to be lost. A lot of Israelite lives are going to be lost, you know, the 2/3, and a lot of heathen lives are going to be lost, man. All right, because it's going to be a tremendous battle. It's going to be a tremendous theatron, man. All right. Now, Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Right now, this is making reference to how wars used to be fought in times of old, man. Right, you'll have the shields, you know, the bucklers, the swords, you know, the axes, and then they'll be making, you know, a tremendously loud sound because they'll all be clashing together because you have thousands of people on the battlefields all simulating the same thing. All right, but it says here, you know, that's how it was aforetime, but now it says and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So now what the scriptures is saying that this war that's coming is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. So it's not going to be like the wars of old time, man. It's going to be with what? It's going to be with nuclear fire, man. Right? It's going to be with ICBM missiles. That's how the war is going to be. All right? And that matches perfectly with the time period that we're currently in and how wars are fought, man. So that's how we know, once again, that that's talking about World War III. Right? And there's countless amount of scriptures that you can get to prove the point. Now this is Jeremiah 50 and verse 14, and I'll close on this. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon. Salakia, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord, man. Right? So all these nations are gonna shoot at America, man. They're gonna shoot, you know, their nuclear technology straight at America, straight at Babylon the Great, man. Right? Because you gotta remember, Babylon has ruled all the nations in wrath, man. And put sore strokes on them, so they all remember that. You know, Japan remember, you know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? That was a terrible thing, you know, that the Lord done, dropping that bomb on them, man. So they still have that in their memory, man. All right. So all of these weaker nations, they're gonna remember that, you know, this whore, you know, Babylon, you know, we just gonna turn on this whore, man, right? Why are we, you know, yoked hand to hand with this demon, man? Let's just get rid of her, right? But they gonna go into slavery too, man. That's what they don't know, but they gonna find that out, you know, on the other side, man. You know, which is gonna be a beautiful thing, you know. But you know, I'll cut off there. Lord willing. This lesson was edifying. And until next time, Shalom.